What are we talking about?
You said you had it figured out, bro.
All right.
We're gonna talk about
I
your
don't.
hair.
I have no idea. But let's
Yeah.
just go. We'll put 20 minutes in and then see if we want to do another 20. All right. Ready? First Gen Wealth, we talk about an entrepreneur's journey to creating wealth. I've got a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues, a lot of peers that they're brought up with money and the ability to handle and figure that out. Finding dollars has always been easy. Finding a deal, making money, I can do that. What to do with it to make it continue to earn so we do have that generational wealth, that's the missing piece. We want our money that we've earned through blood, sweat, and tears to now go to work for us. So that money is making money while we're sleeping. Here we are back at it for Gen Wealth. I'm back here with my brother. Jim did an episode without me. That's all right. I enjoy it. Jim brought his short shorts today. So if you see him adjusting in the camera, it's because his shorts are like up to his belly button. And I brought my short hair, bro.
It's the first time we've done one with your shaved head.
Yeah. Actually, the last episode we were talking about my handfuls of hair. But yeah, I had to shave it, man. I couldn't take showers depressed anymore. So
Yeah.
I shaved it. I think I look younger now. I don't get called your dad anymore. So
You look. I mean, I don't think you look younger, to be honest. But I mean, to each their own.
Really?
I don't.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
All right. Well, whatever. So a couple quick updates. I'm flying out to MD Anderson next week. So the I don't know if it'll be the next episode if we'll record 2 today or not, but we'll have some updates from that on my health stuff. Around town, we got Sakura opening through 4 weeks.
Yeah,
so
hopefully
mid-August.
by like August 10th-ish.
Yep, that's wonderful. It looks amazing in there.
It is. They've
Yep.
done a really good job.
That's awesome. We had an assassination attempt. That's kind of big news.
It is.
Apparently staged.
I mean,
Have you
something's funny about it. I don't know
Have
if
you
it's
seen any of it?
staged. There's all sorts of conspiracy theorists and theories.
Man, I got to tell you what though, that moment when he pops up and puts his fist up, that was pretty iconic.
It was iconic. It was also inspirational.
Yeah.
It didn't hit me that day, but I think a couple days later, it was like, holy cow. First off, like, I got a phone call. Trump's been shot. I have no idea what happened. I just know he's been shot. And then I'm freaking out, like, what the heck is going on? So I'm logging into my Sirius XM on the news. They're not talking about it. I log into my phone. I'm Googling stuff. Like, nothing's available.
Yeah.
So they must have seen it live. And
Oh, gotcha.
And
I went to Twitter and that's
Yeah.
yeah. So I got,
and I think like 2 days later, it was like it was. I mean, it was heavy. It's just a weird thing. The last time that something like this happened was Reagan for
Right.
me, and I was 2 years old.
right.
So first time in my lifetime that I've witnessed something of that magnitude. And the fact that it's on live TV is nuts.
That's wild. It was wild. I'll tell you that that moment, is one of those situations where, it's the fight or flight mechanism. And I think if I was dodging bullets and you hear it. It's not only is the shooter's got shots going off, it's everyone else around shooting back at him, right?
Yeah.
And so bullets are flying, and I don't know if I'd be popping up and raising my hands
Putting
up,
yourself
putting right
out there as a target.
right as another target. Now, I think, they probably, there's a lot of audio, there's a lot of video, and it sounded like Trump got the message that he was neutralized, but I don't know. That was pretty quick to be getting shot, to literally get shot. He got shot. He got shot in the ear, and then to pop up like that, it to me is kind of like him being in the zone, him being in full belief of like, we have to fight for this country. And he's just stuck in that moment at all times. You know what I mean? And for him, I think it was just, I'm not going to let this be a thing that is going to sidetrack us.
Yeah.
We're going to come back up. And he just has that. He has the fight mechanism over the flight mechanism.
Yeah. I think what's crazy though is think of the crowd. Usually the crowd is in panic mode. there was a lot of gunshots.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a couple. Like, people knew, had to have known what was going on, at least a lot of them. And they just stood there and watched. And then the USA chant was,
wild.
It is wild. It is just absolutely wild. The whole thing is like, to me, it's easy to say, well, it was staged or, it's orchestrated in some way, because everything that happened was so out of the ordinary between what he did, the audience, the crowd. It was just insane.
It happened so fast too. Like, for the crowd, I don't really. There was some ducking. Like, you look, there's some ducking. There were people that got killed.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there's people dealing with that. But for the most part, I think a lot of it is the question, like, what's going on? And you have people looking around, and then you've been in a crowd where everybody starts looking one way. And like the next thing you know, like the entire crowd's just looking in a direction, but nobody really knows what they're looking at. Like, because you don't really know. You're in a crowd, you can't get any information. And what happens, 300 yards away with around thousands of people, that message isn't coming across. You know what I mean? So everybody's just kind of looking, what's going on? Why is he ducking? Was it fireworks? Because a lot of people don't know what gunshots sound like.
Yeah.
And when you're in open air, it's not like firing a gun in a gun range. Are very, very different. Especially a small caliber. Like,
and a distance. It was at a distance, so
a couple 100 yards or 130 yards or whatever it was, and small caliber is it's just gonna pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I understand the reaction from the crowd a little bit, but just wild.
Yeah, I don't. It's nuts. I just think pandemonium is what you would normally see in a crowd like that. When you think,
if it would have killed him, that's exactly what you would have seen. But he grabbed his ear. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but then he went down.
People.
You didn't know in that moment what happened,
right?
In that, like, the 2
Would he
seconds.
get stung by a bee? Like, these are the questions you're going to be asking.
Yeah.
You don't know. You're not thinking sniper fire number one. Like, I wouldn't be.
So that's one thing. The other thing is Biden's dropped out of the race.
Oh, he did?
Well, by the time this airs, absolutely. It's inevitable, which goes back to me, the whole talk of the end of democracy.
Yeah.
If I'm a Democrat, you had no voice.
Right.
You had zero voice. Robert Kennedy wanted to run against him.
They wouldn't let him.
The DNC wouldn't let him get on the ballot. They wouldn't let him debate. They wouldn't let him do the things. You had no choice as a Democrat. And now you're going to get spoon-fed whoever they give you. And to me, that's not democratic at all.
Oh,
regardless,
like baby birds.
Regardless
they'll eat it up.
Vote blue, no matter who. Regardless of who it ends up being, it's not democratic. You had no voice. You had no choice.
Right.
And the talk of and it goes on both sides. The end of democracy is not going to happen, regardless of who's elected. We've seen both of these guys in office now for 4 years, close to it now for Biden. He's not going to be on the ticket, but it's just not going to happen. And if there's one party more than other, you're seeing it. Like, wake up, you see what's happening. You have zero choice.
Yeah. Well, that's the same thing that happened during COVID. They made Biden the candidate. They just ended everything. He wasn't leading, back in 2020.
Well, and then
2020.
go back to 2016, Hillary. Bernie Sanders had the momentum, and he was going to be the nominee, if you remember.
That's right.
And they started changing the rules about how you get delegates and how the super delegates.
That's
and
right.
the super magnificent delegates and all this weird stuff that doesn't happen on the other side.
Right.
Now, they're still orchestrating and positioning and all that stuff. But as a Democrat, now it'll be 3 elections in a row, you really haven't had a choice of who the nominee is.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's nuts.
Sounds like the end of democracy.
It sounds like there is no democracy already.
Well, you went on. We accidentally went down that tangent. I was trying to loop us into, like, the idea of believing in something, and having, even amidst gunfire, being able to come out. And now you've gone us down the path of the destruction of democracy, but that's okay. I'm going to bring it back.
You started it.
I did. Well, that's a big thing. Assassination attempts is a pretty big thing. I get you got to talk about it. But I think for me, like, that was, I've got a different mindset going on right now. You know what I mean? So, but watching that moment for me was like, this guy's a fighter, and that's how I felt. And I'm like, that resonates with me because I'm in a fight right now. And for him to just be like, fight, I loved it.
That's been your tagline.
That has been
for the last like 2 months. Is let's fight.
Let's fight, and
So
so it's resonated with me big time, and I think I can't be alone in that regard. But I think it just, like I was trying to say, it goes back to just that 100% buy-in and belief of a path that you're on, and obviously for Trump, that is trying to make America great again, or whatever tagline you want to put on it. For me, it's, the belief in my health and getting well. And then also, as we've talked about many times, it's like we're on a path to wealth and trying to get our family set up and our life set up so we can, sit on a big pile of money someday. And, having that tunnel vision, I think, enables you to stare down the barrel of a gun and say, let's fight, let's take it on. So that is kind of where I was trying to go, and I'm okay with where we are at, but I want to talk about people getting into a tunnel vision scenario in their lives and focusing for a period of time to get something better out than they have right now. So with that, bro, does that kind of get some
oh
juices?
So
Okay.
I mean, I think of like what we try to do in redeveloping downtown Owasso, but does that tunnel vision at some point in time like cloud your vision? Because we've made some bad decisions financially with different purchases or different developments because we have that vision of like, we got to do this. Like it's good for, it's good for our community. And sometimes we don't, there are times where we lack the financial analysis to really make a good decision, because I feel like it's more emotion based.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of gut stuff downtown. A lot of gut based decisions downtown, But I think there again, given a long enough runway, you've said this before, you always get what you want, right?
Yeah.
Because you work hard, you don't give up, and I think for us, I think we inherently understand that some of the stuff we do is going to be risky. We're okay with that because we know, at least historically, we felt we had a long enough runway that we'll just do what needs to be done, and these projects will come together for the good of our downtown.
Yeah.
With this health thing, it's like, oh, well, that runway, I don't really want to go down that long runway. I'm still anticipating a very long runway, but it's just like, I've got to focus my funds and my attention on some other things. So now, we're making some changes, but the good news is there are some people that are stepping up and grabbing that kind of that vision of our downtown. But I don't think, I think it's more beneficial to have that type of tunnel vision than it's going to be a negative. Yes.
Oh, I think so too. Because even the mistakes we've made have never been catastrophic.
Correct.
By any means. There's been some stuff that's hurt.
Yeah.
Some checks we've had to write that have hurt and things of that nature. But overall, if you look at the overall portfolio of downtown Owasso, of what we're involved with, it's very good.
Yeah, things we've done, things we're doing.
And I think if you have a stock portfolio and you've got 10 different stocks, they're not all going to be green every day.
Right.
And that's where, so I'm like, okay, well, we've done really well with this project and it offsets that one that we maybe didn't do so well with. And we've had to borrow money from that project to make this project work and things like that.
Sure.
So I think you're right. Overall, tunnel vision, regardless of what it is, whether it's your health, whether it's your relationships, if you are focused and you are laser beamed on that mission, then more often than not, you are going to have tremendous success.
And who are you thinking of right now that's in a total tunnel vision mode?
Who am I thinking of?
Yeah.
I mean, myself. I don't know.
I like it. Good. Good.
Who are you thinking?
No, I Joe came to mind again.
Oh, Joe.
Joe always comes to mind.
Yeah,
right?
Joe. I thought about him too earlier, but he is at my house right now doing doing some stuff.
The dude is on a mission.
Yeah.
But no, you're Jim. Can I say what you're kind of working towards right now?
Sure.
But he is going to in September all natural bodybuilder. No, okay, you tell me, what is it?
Well, it's a physique show. So it's not bodybuilding like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, huge muscles. It's a physique show. So
Well, yeah, but you got to look good.
Got to look good.
Your body has to be built correctly. So it's kind of like a bodybuilder show.
But it's not bodybuilding. it's technically a physique show.
Physique show. So it's more like beach body than muscle body.
Oh yeah,
And my
yeah.
beach body, like volleyball body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's all upper body tone and physique.
That's awesome. You look great.
So thank you, man.
Yeah.
I started training for this in mid-May, and really it's been since November of 2022 that I've like started to make these steps to a healthy
You've been on a
lifestyle.
mission with your health. You have.
So in mid-May, I started like getting serious about the diet again and working out and making sure that I'm doing the right things. So come September, I'll be ready. Now, as of yesterday, we've determined that I'm becoming a little too lean too fast to ramp up for this. It's basically I'm 50 at this point today when we're airing. I'm 58 or 57 days away.
Okay.
So I'm getting a little too lean too fast. So I'm gonna up the calories a little bit. Maybe I'll have some dessert this weekend. I don't know.
Oh man, good things.
get wild.
Good things in the future. All right.
There's things that like people have. Well, what's the hardest part? It's the diet.
Yeah.
Like I love working out. I love lifting. I go for walks in the morning. I do all that stuff consistently every single day. It's by far the diet's the hardest part,
Yeah.
and being consistent with that.
Yeah, it is. And for me, that's been pretty rough too, the change of diet. But you know,
How are you doing with your diet? Because you were tunnel vision in the beginning. How
I
are you
was
doing now?
very much tunnel vision, and then things kind of changed because the chemicals that are going to my body, I think, like are really screwing with me. The chemotherapy is definitely tweaking my taste buds, I guess, and things that tasted really good last week, I can't even like put in my mouth this week. So we've kind of like changed to, all right, we got to get these certain amount of things in my body. Like there's the daily 12, like, items like vegetables and fruits and, certain whole plants, like just certain things I've got to eat. And then it's like, all right, if I have to have a slice of pizza to get full, so I'm not starving to death because all this I can't eat anything else, then that's just what's going to happen.
Yeah, I was talking with Molly last night, and she said she caught you eating a piece of pizza.
I wasn't hiding it.
She had left or something and came back in the house, and she caught you like mid bite.
Yeah, Hungry Howie's, man, is delicious.
I believe it.
No, I mean, but again, it's like, I've had all the other good stuff, and it's just very much, I'm probably like on an 80-20 maybe situation right now where 20% of the stuff is not really what I should be eating, but I got to get,
Right,
I got to get nourished.
yeah.
I got to get some food in me. And there's just days that, there are certain days where I can't eat anything.
Well, I think anybody that could stick to an 80-20 diet is doing a really, really good job.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to eat healthy, especially with it's hard to eat healthy.
It's very inconvenient.
And so if you're eating good stuff, and I think I would disagree with most people what good stuff really is.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that 80%
Fruits,
of the time,
vegetables, I mean, we're just blending. We're doing, the Ninja blender, blending a lot of that stuff up and just making a juice or a juicer out of it or whatever, a smoothie out of it. And that's how I'm getting a lot of my must-haves. Beans and legumes are a big deal for my diet because there's evidence of that, shrinking tumors and things of that nature. So we just got to get the lentils and those things, and we just throw them all in the blender and just let it go. But like today, I was telling you, I almost had my first hurl incident over something that I've drank yesterday. You know what I mean? And today it's just different. So I take what I can get, and we'll see. I know, I've got, I'm halfway through right now as of us sitting here. So we'll see what the next 12 weeks brings, and hopefully we're going to be, rid of this stuff by the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that you'll be in Houston obviously next week, and I just know it's going to be good news.
It's going to be. They're going to tell me it's stopped growing. That's all I care about. Containment is all I care about. So as long as that's happening, we won't pivot. We'll stay on the path, which just means 12 more weeks.
Yeah. Do you have anything fun
ditches.
planned in Houston while you're there? Can you get away?
No, we can't because we fly out Monday. We've got our appointments. We got about 5 hours worth of stuff to do on Tuesday, and then from that moment, it's like all up in the air. We booked a week, so we're out there for the whole week till Saturday. But that's our anniversary, our 14-year wedding anniversary is while we're out there. So there's probably going to be some dinner in our future, I would imagine. But no, there's all this, a lot of things you can do in that area, but we don't know how many more times we're going to be in appointments after our initial consultation and checkup. So, like I've said in the past, we're going to go full capacity in every moment that we're in. So if we end up going out there and only needing to be there Tuesday because everything's on the right path, that's wonderful. We'll pivot and we'll do some cool stuff on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and fly back. If not, we'll do what we got to do. It doesn't matter.
Right.
We just kind of, both of us, Molly and I, just take what is given and we go with it. No matter what. So
cool. Well, obviously, I love you, and
yeah,
we're hoping and praying for the best, and I fully expect that we're gonna get some good news.
It is still a known. It's just a matter of time, brother. I'll be all right.
I know. I hear you, man. So,
hey, that sounds like a wrap, does it?
That's a wrap.
So how did you rap? How did you rap without me? You did it.
I said I don't know what our next topic is gonna be, and I was like, I don't want to say that, so I'll leave that to Randy. So
hey, that's a wrap. I don't know what our next topic's gonna be, but tune in because it's gonna be awesome. Take care.